Welcome to the USU Career Studio podcast that helps you navigate your career path. If you enjoy this episode, make sure to tell your friends and family all about it. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere else you listen to get access to our newest content. Thanks for joining me. I'm Olivia Lee, your Tuesday Tip host, and today we'll continue our conversation around the College of Engineering. Last week we touched on the Launch Your Engineering Career tool, and today we're going to discuss resume and grad school prep resources. So there are kind of two sections to this conversation. First is templates I'll be going over and how to access those, and second is the Science Writing Center resource. I'm really excited to talk about these two resources together because being able to convey who you are and what you have to offer to future employers and programs can be incredibly challenging, but if you can do it well, you're setting yourself up for unique sought-after opportunities. So today's conversation is really centered around what university resources are there to help you to stand out from the get-go using things like resumes and cover letters and letters of intent. To start us off, the Career Design Center has pulled together several types of resume templates and posted them on their resources by college page, which I'll link in the episode's description. Under the traditional resumes tab, you can find major specific sample resumes. A few of these include civil and environmental engineering, bioengineering, and mechanical and aerospace engineering, which actually has 3 different samples for just that one major, so there's a lot to work with there. If, however, you're planning to apply for federal jobs, there's a tab for that too, since federal resumes look significantly different from traditional ones. Not only does the Career Design Center explain what makes a federal resume different, but they've also outlined a step-by-step process to finding federal opportunities to apply for. Also found under this tab are several example resumes and success statements, as well as the success statement formula if you want to customize your own a little bit more. There really is a lot to work with under just the traditional and federal resume tabs. But we're not done there. If you're planning to apply for grad school rather than enter the workforce, you guessed it, there's also a tab for that. Under this tab is a timeline handout that breaks the year before grad school down into monthly tasks. Even though researching, applying for, and being accepted into grad school can be daunting, this handout makes it more digestible by cutting things down into bite-sized pieces. Also found under the grad school tab are personal statement and letter of intent definitions, tips, and samples. So again, just a lot to work with. And finally, linked here is the Science Writing Center, which is the last thing I want to focus on for this week. What exactly is the Science Writing Center, and why should students in the College of Engineering care? Well, the Science Writing Center is a branch of the USU General Writing Center with tutors that specialize in helping students become more effective at expressing their ideas in scientific writing. They focus on the content and organization of lab reports, research proposals, presentations and posters, research papers and manuscripts, theses, dissertations, and finally, what we're focusing on today, personal statements, resumes, and cover letters. So, after you've created a draft of your resume or letter using the Career Design Center's resources and templates, you can schedule an appointment with the Science Writing Center to fine-tune what you've got. Then, just like that, you'll have a professional, standout document that you can feel confidently represents you, your skill set, and your experiences. That's a huge undertaking that, with all of these resources, is hopefully made a little bit simpler. I think that's everything I had for today's episode. In the episode's description, you can find links to the traditional, federal, and grad school resume tabs, as well as the Science Writing Center's page where you can schedule appointments. Thanks for joining, and see you next week for another helpful Tuesday tip. We hope you loved this episode of the USU Career Studio podcast. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and share this episode with your friends and family.